Hey, good Wednesday morning, everybody. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Well, it's another day and more rain, and this probably is going to be the worst of the rain for a couple of reasons. One, we have one more big blast of moisture moving in, but also because of the rain that's already fallen, and that's where we're going to start this morning. We got to focus on what's already happened. So what you're looking at here, it's kind of a bright colored map, but what I did is I plotted every single rainfall report for the past 2.5 days, and I plotted it on the map here. So these come from personal weather stations, basically spotters, and any kind of official gauge we have. Let's go to Charlotte first because we have seen some very heavy rain here in the Charlotte area. You can see some areas are approaching 3 inches down near Carowinds, down near the state line near Ballantyne, 3.19. But generally across the Charlotte metro, it's anywhere from about 1.25 inches to up to 3 inches. Even the lightest amounts, which seem to be the 321 corridor from Gaston County to Lincoln to Catawba County, even there it's been 1.5 inches, which has been the lighter amount. But the real problems, look at back in the mountains. I mean, there's one spot here near Landrum, that's 11.18 inches going into Polk and Rutherford counties. Huge. I mean, 9-10 inches around Lake Lure. And then we come up here into areas of McDowell and Burke County, and really one of the heaviest spots I've seen here in Burke County has been like the Jonas Ridge area, almost 10 inches of rain. So a lot of rain has fallen in these areas up here. So everything is saturated. So even the light rain today would be a big problem. And for that reason, we've seen the high risk for flash flooding issued for the entire area, but also a rare extreme risk for flash flooding across the mountains and foothills. You can see from the Virginia border all the way back down into the upstate of South Carolina. And look at the area in red. That's the high risk for flash flooding today. So a huge area under risk for flooding today from the rain that's heading our way. And let me show you what's going on currently. So here's our system. You can see it spinning roughly over Knoxville, Tennessee. The center is somewhere, I'd say southern Kentucky, eastern parts of Tennessee. But you can see what's happening. We've got this band that's forming off to the east, and even though it's really cold today, that's part of the story we probably didn't play up enough. I knew it'd be chilly today, we talked about last night, but it's really cold over us, and while that keeps a severe weather threat away, it actually increases our heavy rain threat. And here's why. Cold air is heavy and dense. Just like the mountains lift the air, cold air at the surface lifts the air as well. So what's going to happen today, as this heavy rain band kind of organizes from the mountains back down to here, it's going to pivot in and rotate into the mountains. It gets lifted over this wedge of cold air, which is against the mountains. So some reasons, one of the reasons we call this the wedge is because if you were to take a 3D slice of this, it actually looks like a doorstopper wedge. And what happens, it's like a ramp. So when the warm, moist air hits the ramp, it gets lifted up into the sky. And that happens right in here. So down here, the ramp is shallow. It gets deeper up here. So when the air hits it, it's lifted. And that squeezes out every drop of moisture. That's why you're seeing such a high risk for flash flooding today. So I'm going to widen this out. I'll turn the temperatures off. And you can see this band, which is going to spin and wrap around. So what's going to happen today is this band, which we can clearly see forming right here, as the low kind of meanders up in this direction or moves around, this thing's going to swing around like a spoke in a wheel and is going to move up into the Carolinas. So the spoke moves, but the individual moisture is going to be transported like that. So this is going to cause some huge rainfall rates across the upstate, central North Carolina, and western North Carolina into the afternoon. So let's look at some of the Futurecast guidance on what's going to happen. So I'm going to go with the ultra short range guidance here, which is only 18 hours out. We run this every hour. So you can see that band, watch as it forms, and then pivots up here and moves in. So this is by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Notice the heavier amount showing up here and this band setting up over the Charlotte area. And FYI, man, NASCAR, I hate to tell you, but tonight is not looking good again down in Darlington. But we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You can kind of see this band of moisture now rotating out to the east and actually kind of moving away from us, maybe up into eastern North Carolina. But this is going to be around for the next 12 to 18 hours. So let's go out even farther into the future. We'll go to some short range guidance here, and we can show how this band pivots tomorrow morning. We wake up 8 a.m. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So maybe by the afternoon things start to improve, but I tell you what, the next 12 to 24 hours, that is a lot of rain, folks, heading over very saturated soils across our area. So how much rain are we talking about? Well, this is additional rainfall here. And let me back this up. So this is on top of what we've seen. This is going through, I'm going to stop this early Friday morning. We'll stop this at 8 a.m. Friday morning. So this is 8 a.m. Friday morning. You can see some of these totals. Up here, you're looking at general 4 to 5, 6 inches, and probably 2 to 3 inches more across the Piedmont. But notice the totals increasing over towards Raleigh and Greensboro and back towards Fayetteville. So you see these browns down here, 5, 6 inches. That's 5, 6 inches on those eastern facing slopes. So there's, Grandfather Mountain, Mount Mitchell's right there. Pilot Mountain sticks out a little bit as well. You can see that up there. The Brushies and South Mountain. So you can see how elevation plays a pretty big part in this. And then this little enhanced band here. So there is going to be some flooding. It's just, to me, it's almost no doubt we're going to see additional flooding. And the problem is this water is going to come downstream. So even if you don't see the heaviest rain over you, the fact that this water is falling over a big area, a basin, the water coming downstream, the Broad River, the Catawba River, all its tributaries, and then all the lakes. So just be ready over the next, I'd say, a couple of days. We're probably going to see the water really high. And this weekend, as we get ready for Memorial Day, just be very cautious on the area lakes. There's going to be a lot of debris, a lot of high, fast-moving water. Stay away from the spillways and the dams. It could be pretty rough. So we're expecting more flash flooding today. And unfortunately, this extreme risk of flooding with high risk for everybody else is going to be with us through the remainder of today. Of course, I will post updates. Stay tuned for weather alerts. Please download the WCNC Charlotte Weather app. If you only download it for one reason, the GPS alerts. I'm telling you, these things are a lifesaver. It is based on the location of your phone. It is not going to give you a warning that you're not in. So I love it. It reduces the false alarm. And this works anywhere. You don't have to be in my viewing area. You could be anywhere in the country. This will give you National Weather Service alerts based on the location of your phone. You just got to turn them on in the app. And no matter where you are, if you're in the polygon or a warning, you're going to get an alert. So it's our forecast as well. That's the other thing. If you want to look at our forecast, my actual local forecast that I put into the app, not a model, you can use it. But the great thing is, to me, the alerts, because they work anywhere. And when I travel, it's what I use for alerts. So download that today. It's called WCNC Charlotte Weather. It's not our news app. News app is great for news and streaming. The weather app is great just for weather information. So grab that today in case we get flood warnings. That's our biggest threat. And I know someone will ask, there's no severe weather threat today. It is all about flooding. It's too cold for severe weather. This is all about heavy rain today. Have a great day. I'll post updates, and obviously we'll have another update tonight as well at 4, 5, 6, and 11 on WCNC. And I'll post more updates online, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.